Namaskaram. Good morning. Good afternoon. My name is Kanaga, and I'm hereby accompanied by Kritika, who will be the host of today's session. Hope everyone is keeping safe in these tough stay home lockdown conditions. Given the circumstances, we welcome you all to yet another lecture series from SomeBash, Belgium, which is apt for this very special day of the year, celebrating motherhood. Wish you all a happy Mother's Day. We at SomeBash aim to have an open conversation around different topics, typically called cash, culture, art, social issues, and history. Our programs include lectures, debates, concerts, published papers, etc. One of our mission statement is to empower the next generation by creating awareness about the real India. Do visit our webpage, sambash.com, to know more about upcoming events and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook to get notified about future programs. The topic for today is Mothers of Ancient India.
नास्ति मातृ समा छाया नास्ति मातृ समा गतिः नास्ति मातृ समं त्राणं नास्ति मातृ sama prapa. This quote from Skanda Purana means there is no shade like a mother, no resort, heaven like a mother, no security like a mother, no other life-giving fountain like that of a mother. We all agree that there is no one better in the world for each of us than our own mother. Then why do we even have this topic today? Why is it important to summon the mothers, ancient mothers of Bharatvarsha or India? Why is it important for us to hear about the mothers of yesteryears? What is the change we are looking to bring by listening to their stories? What is the Indian mother's ethos that is referred to often by famous Indians like poet Rabindranath Tagore, like Swami Vivekananda, and like Mahatma Gandhi himself? What is that they want to proclaim? And lastly, how can we bring it upon to this generation of mothers to raise our children to be worthy global citizens by emulating the mothers of ancient India? We have invited eminent speaker Srimati Vishakha to assuage some of these unceasing, never-ending questions and self-doubts.
Our guest needs no introduction, but will still make a humble attempt. Srimati Vishakha Hari is a practitioner of the ancient beautiful form of art called Harikatha or Katha Kirtan. Herein, she weaves beautiful stories of value and wisdom interspersed with songs of yesteryear great composers. She was initiated into music right from a tender age of 5, and after her marriage with Sri Hariji, she was inducted into the art of Harikatha. Being a qualified top ranking chartered accountant, she chose to narrate Harikatha with a seamless blend of music, history, drama, and literature. A staunch patriot who believes in never forgetting one's cultural roots, she spreads valuable messages of love and peace throughout the world. Her gurus are late Sri Lalguriji Jairaman, the great violin maestro for music, Sri Krishna Pemi Swamigal, who is a great Vidwan in Shastras, and Sri R. Hariji for Katha. She is the founder of Vijay Sri School of Harikatha, a patashala to promote the art of Harikatha and a medium to promote our culture, values, and dharma. It was brought to life this year and has over 200 students enrolled already. Nurturing the young minds, building curiosity, and sparkling desire to continue the legacy of Harikatha in generations to come is part of her philanthropic activities. She has been credited with various titles. To name a few, MS Subbulakshmi Award, the one among the 7 eminent women of India, Tyagaraja Pratidhwani from various renowned organizations, including the Kalaimamani Award from the state government of Tamil Nadu, Yuva Puraskar from Sangeet Natak Academy, Central Government. Additionally, she is also the brand ambassador for Swachh Bharat Tiruchirappalli, with numerous performances both within and abroad. Her discourse draws a huge following. Today, we have an opportunity to chat with her on the topic of mothers of ancient India. Before I call upon Srimati Hari, a quick note to all the viewers watching us live now. Now that all of us have an opportunity to interact with Mrs. Hari, feel free to post your questions in YouTube Live chat. Appreciate if you can keep the questions related to the topic of the day. Thank you. Srimati Hari, over to you.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Namaste and namaskar to all of you. Very happy to be part of Sambashan, Belgium. And I was informed that this session is in lieu of the Mother's Day, which falls on 10th May. Personally, I feel every day is a Mother's Day for all of us, because without the mother, even a blade of grass doesn't move. Trinamapi na chalati bhavatim tyaktva, goes the saying. Without the mother, there is nothing at all. And before we start answering the lot of whys that our host from Belgium asked us today, questions posed to us, I would like to give you a brief introduction on a beautiful shloka from the ancient Indian tradition, which talks about who is actually a mother. We generally consider Mata, Amba, Mother as the person who gives birth to this body alone. But the ancient Indian tradition teaches us to respect 7 categories of people as equivalent to our own mother. 7 categories of people are accorded the status of motherhood. So the woman need not necessarily physically deliver a baby to be called a mother, which means every woman in this world will fall into one of these 7 categories. So the Mother's Day is typically a day for every woman in this world. So who are those 7 people? Ado Mata, first is definitely our own mother who has given us this Sharira, this body. Gurur Patni, the wife of the Guru. That is why we call her Guru Mata, if the Guru is a male teacher. Third, Brahmani, if she herself, if the teacher is a lady teacher, she herself is our mother, because the teacher gives birth to knowledge, just like giving birth to this body. Giving birth to knowledge is as important, in fact, more important. So birth of knowledge, every teacher is a mother in that sense. Raja Patnika, we call her Raja Mata. The queen is supposed to consider all the subjects, the citizens of her country, as her own children. So in India, we call her the Raja Mata. Denu, the cow, we call the cow Go Mata. Again, all those terms, Mata, Guru Mata, Raja Mata, Go Mata, all these have this additional term of Mata. Why? Because we give them the status, we accord the status of motherhood. The cow is considered as a mother because she gives milk. She gives everything to us. Tata Prithvi, our Matrubhumi. Dhatri, the caretaker, the nurse, who takes care of the children during the initial stages. She is also one of the, considered as the mother. That is why Gadai, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, after his Upanayanam, he took the first Bhiksha from the caretaker, the Dhatri. So, Ado Mata, Gurur Patni, Brahmani, Rajapatnika, Dhenur, Dhatri, Tata Prithvi. 7 Saptaita Mataris Smritaha. 7 categories of people are mother, Guru Patni, the teacher herself, she is a lady teacher, the queen, the cow, the nurse, the caretaker, and our Matrubhumi, the Bhumi where we have been born. And in some other shlokas, we also have reference to the wife of the elder brother, the Jeshta Patni, the wife of the elder brother, that is the Bhabi, whom we call in Hindi. She is also considered as our mother. And the mother-in-law definitely is, if we can stretch the word mother to so many categories of people, definitely the mother-in-law is our mother. Her Ado Mata includes the mother-in-law herself. So, if you see at a broader perspective, in a nutshell, truly the virtuous consider all women in the world as their mothers. That is why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had this worship of the mother worship, cosmic mother. Cosmic mother of knowledge is Saraswati, mother of valor is Durga, Kali, mother of prosperity is Lakshmi. Everybody, as our host introduced this session, she said, everyone knows the importance of motherhood. Why at all take this topic today? Just because 10th May is the Mother's Day? Is it just as a tribute, a celebration, or some program that we have to conduct because it's a Mother's Day? No. I hope we have some valuable takeaways after the end of this session. It should be a takeaway for the entire world, all nations, a universal takeaway that we would be able to produce at the end of this 1 hour session. So answering the first question, why do we have this topic today? I'm reminded of Swami Vivekananda's words. He answered this question hundreds of years back. He said, let us discuss this mother-child relationship today in one of his talks abroad, I think in New York. Fragmentary notes were taken. He said, let us discuss this mother-child relationship because there is a shift in the paradigm. There is a shift in this mother-child relationship on and off. During changing times, these relationships also change. Some things for the better, some for the worse. Today, it is more and more important because what yesteryears mothers had, most of us do not have today. What is it? Time. The time factor that we give our children. That is the maximum best investment that any mother can make. Not in the accounts of your banks, but in the child's, that not only our children, I told you the teacher is a mother. So the children all the children she teaches, every child is her own child. So all these 7 categories of mothers, are we giving the right values to our children? So basically today's session is to analyze what is lacking and has the relationship gone towards the better or has the curve gone down? To finish off with Swami Vivekananda's words for the first question, he says, yesteryear mothers used to consider their children as their priority and then used to think about themselves. But nowadays, today's mothers have this tendency to think about themselves first, maybe their career, their profession, or anything at all, and then about their children. If the relationship becomes thinking about the child only after thinking about ourselves, then the relationship will be equivalent to the bird and its offspring's relationship. The bird also is a mother, but once the offsprings are fledged, there is no mother-child relationship. In the animals, in the animal category, in the bird category, there is no mother-child relationship at all. Is the world moving towards that kind of a relationship is what we need to analyze in today's session. Because there are more and more old age homes. And in the old age homes, those who have children and those children who are doing very well, those people are the parents who are in the old age homes. And we cannot blame either. child-mother relationship, both this way and that way. The mother does not give the time to the child, and the child does not have any affection because of the sense of this insecurity. So where are we leading to, and what is the solution to this? So let's go on to the next question. Question number 1 is, why do we have the topic today? To analyze, to do the vichara, the analysis of the mother-child relationship as of today. 2, towards this end, why do we need to summon the ancient mothers of India? Why don't we discuss about the contemporary mothers today? Why do we need to pull the ancient mothers of India towards this end? Because we need to understand the basic difference between Shreyas and Preyas. There are two concepts, Shreyas, inverted comma, and Preyas, not prayers, Preyas. Preyas is the concept which is being concentrated by the modern day mothers. And Shreyas was the concept which was focused, centered around by our ancient mothers. Now, what do you mean by Shreyas and Preyas? You give two terminologies and go on with that. What do you mean by it? Preyas is all that which seems very interesting, very pleasurable, very nice at the beginning, but then puts you up in misery at the end. Like, for example, you don't read for your exam. Instead, you take a cup of ice cream, you go to the shopping mall, you dine out, you go to a movie. It's all very nice right at the beginning. Finally, when you have to write the exams, everything comes out. All your secret is out. So prayers is all those activities which seem nice at the beginning. Finally, consequences of those activities is real misery. That is praise. Shreyas is all those activities which are very difficult, which irritate the children. In fact, irritate all of us. At the beginning, it's very cumbersome, it's very tedious. We need to work very hard, and we are not willing to do that. It's very difficult, time consuming, tedious, but finally the end result is really good. So yesteryear mothers, if you think of your mothers, or at least I don't remember going out with my mother to a movie at all through my life, not even a couple of movies with her. I don't remember dining out with her at a restaurant. I don't remember my mother getting me buying it more than 2 dresses a year, one for the birthday, one for Deepavali. But today, we buy our children so many dresses, whether there is an occasion or not. We get them, we dine at the restaurant, we go to a movie, we think we can make our children very happy by getting them all these electronic gadgets. Even before they can ask, we are there with that and say, I'm gifting you a bike. You're 10-year-old. I'm gifting you a beautiful car. You're 15-year-old. So that we think we can make our children happy by getting them all this. In fact, there is a saying, we think we can make our children good by making them happy, but it is vice versa. You can make them happy by making them good. So this is the difference between prayers and shreyas. So children might seem happy temporarily. They would say, you are the best mother in the world. You got me the ice cream with the topping that I really needed. But is it truly unconditional love? So our yesteryear mothers, what did they do? They showed the children right morals. And that is why we are sitting here doing this discussion at all. Otherwise, we would be watching something else. So they showed us the path, not just the direction for livelihood. They showed us the direction for life. There is a difference. Showing our children a direction towards livelihood is making them study well, get 100 out of 100, 100 out of 100, 99 if you get, then one knock on the head. That is showing the direction for livelihood, showing the direction for life. Life is, it's very vast. It's a huge game. It's an experience. And that huge challenging game can be faced only with the support of the mother's unconditional love. So a true mother, in the introduction, she asked another why. What would a true mother do towards raising her children? A true mother should nurture the skill of her child, should really find out what the child is interested in. It should not be a sheep mentality. Everybody does gets 100 out of 100 in max. Why are you getting a 40 or a 30, or why are you feeling? Maybe he is very good in drawing. So let's find out the skills of our children first. Nurture the skill, encourage the child in that particular field. Only then we will have the 64 ancient arts that India gave to the universe. Where are they now? Where are the 64 arts? Two, most importantly, giving the children nutritious food. That itself has become a luxury nowadays. How many mothers take their time off to give the right dishes to their children with the right nutrition? Of course, there are definitely mothers who have that work life balance. There are many people who take maximum efforts to make this life work balance beautiful. But there are more people out there, including me, everybody. We're just sharing this. We are caught in a maze. How are we going to nurture all our children? Child is not our own child. I told you, all the children around us. That is why, towards that end, we have started the school of Harikatha. We basically give them the moral values that they need. We used to have a moral science lesson period. We used to have a subject called moral science. Nowadays, schools don't have moral science, moral value subject at all, because it has no economic value. We only look at economic value. So basically, what this session aims at is creating a shift in the paradigm from selfishness to selflessness, from egotism to sacrifice, from restlessness to patience and tolerance that our yesteryear mothers had. And finally, our host asked questions like, what is the Indian mother's ethos as for Rabindranath Tagore or Swami Vivekananda or Mahatma Gandhi? As for Rabindranath Tagore or Mahatma Gandhi or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or Vivekananda, whomsoever it may be, they all considered, in India, they all considered the woman as the mother first. In the West, the concept of woman is a wife. Now, what is the difference? The woman is a wife and a mother. You could ask. Swami Vivekananda says, again, like to quote him, Vivekananda Swami says, the wife can desert the husband. The children can leave the father, but the mother never leaves her child. So the concept of woman as a mother is what Rabindranath Tagore specified in his novel Gora, I think. Similarly, Mahatma Gandhi or Vivekananda Swami, mother worship. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa saw even his wife as his mother. Throughout every woman, today most of the crime would be nullified if we can teach our boys, if we can teach the men around to look at all women as mothers. That purity, sanctity would be maintained. And the girls also are to be taught how to conduct themselves in a dignified manner. It's always, the coin always has two sides, both ways. Teaching the boys to see all girls and all women as mothers, and teaching the girls to behave like every woman in India generally sees all people as her children. That is what Rabindranath Tagore says. A woman has many identities, many roles. Generally, a woman perceives all people around her as her children. That is the Indian woman's ethos. So, towards this end, we hope that we can raise our children. First point that we need to keep in mind is we need to kindle that spirit of Desha Bhakti and Daiva Bhakti in our children so that the root is strong enough. It can go into a big, nutritious, healthy tree, giving shade to thousands of people. But the root is in Desha Bhakti. If the child is taught to love our Matrubhumi, love the mother, love the cow, love our land, our motherland, I think loving the motherland is the root to all noble qualities. It gives you that sense of working towards selflessness, selfless working, serving the nation, that positivity, energy to work, force, everything comes from that one small point, Deshabhakti. How many of our children really have Deshabhakti? How many of our children really love our motherlands? It's a question. But if you take the pages of history, if you flip through the pages of history, those whom we read in history created history because of their love for their land, because of the love for their motherland. I think that is what we have to address basically. So we shall, I think the 5-6 questions in the whys, I've tried to cover it through all these answers, through these discussions. We will go on to the question answer session.
Because I'm being the host, I'm going to start with the first question. So I'm being opportunistic here. So I have I've had the good fortune of hearing some of your Harikatha, and I was always motivated and inspired by stories of Sita, for example, from the Panchakanya stories. As a student of dance and as someone who listens to Harikatha, I've always been intrigued by the Panchakanya stories. But what our source, for example, what is a common source for us to do a bit of reading or to explain it to our children in a most easy form is to Google it, of course. And then when we find the Wikipedia page on Panchakanya, there is a feature called as common feature of Panchakanyas. I'm quoting, each of them suffers a tragedy. They are used by men, but and they battle they battle with life and society, unquote. So what happens is that these stories, according to Wikipedia page, seems to come across as Sita, our mother that we all revere and worship, got punished for her vanavasa during her pregnancy for no fault of hers. Draupadi got humiliated again for no fault of hers. So when we want to give these stories to our children from our itihasas, uh, we are a bit in a dichotomy. Like how do we emphasize upon them that what is seen in common parlance or what has been written or spoken in common parlance is losing the nuance of what these real ladies have been. Could you elaborate a bit about
Wonderful
these
question.
two amazing mothers?
Yeah, wonderful question. So the Panchakanyas are, according to the Indian tradition, Sita, Draupadi, Tara, Mandodari, Ahalya. These 5 women are considered as the Panchakanyikas. And basically, the way the rishis have taken these 5 people, you can see, you can enjoy, you can appreciate how inclusive our Sanatana Dharmic tradition has been. Because if you look at the list, Tara is a Vanara Patni, the wife of a Vanara. Mandodari is the wife of a Rakshasa Patni. Sita and Draupadi Patnis, Dharma Patnis of human beings. Then we have Ahalya, Rishi Patni. So how inclusive it has been. Now coming to the question, you say when you Google, you find that all of them have one feature in common, that they have been tortured and tormented or harassed by the other gender. It is actually a question as to how you perceive a half full glass. A half full glass, a positive man, a very positive looking person, an optimistic person comes and says, oh, this glass is half full. And another negative, pessimistic person says, no, it's half empty. Both are the truths. If Sita suffered during her separation during the 10 months in Ashokavana, I could give you hundreds and hundreds of shlokas as to how Rama cried more than Sita. Throughout the latter part of the Aranyakanda, where he goes from tree to tree searching for Sita, throughout the Kishkinda Kanda, throughout the Kandas, Rama cries for Sita. If Sita had faced oppression from Rama, when Hanuman came to rescue Sita, she would have said, "Good that you have come to rescue me. Please take me. I'm ready to come and sit on your shoulders. Please carry me off." No. Sita too knew how much Rama loved Sita. So if Sita had to fight for herself, Sita could actually reduce Ravana into ashes by her mere look. Basma basmarka tejasa, she says. Anuman, why you? I can myself reduce Ravana into ashes. Basma basmarka tejasa. But I'm not going to fight for myself. Why should I fight for myself when my whole country, when my husband Rama will come? I know with a huge army he will come. He has to come. He has to honor me. He has to. If she had to fight for herself, then you should say she was a weakling. She was actually oppressed woman. She had to fight for herself. But Rama did not go in search of another lady, or he did not go and marry somebody else. Even in the times when polygamy was present, even when Sita was left at the Vanavasa, the Uttarakanda itself is an interpolation as per the researchers. But even if you consider that she was left at the ashram of Valmiki, immediately what could have Rama done? He could have married somebody else. But there are shlokas and shlokas and shlokas in Valmiki Ramayana saying that after Rama sacrificed Sita, he lost all interest in living. He lost all interest in life. He did that only for the sake of citizens. But he did not participate in any festivity. He lost all his cheerfulness. He lost his enthusiasm. And Sita, when she was left at near Valmiki's ashram, Lakshmana is going back. Considering that Uttarakhanda is true, there are so many researchers who say that itself is an interpolation. Still, if we want to answer this question to our children, what would we do? Take that page, take that chapter from Valmiki Ramayana. Sita tells Lakshmana, Lakshmana, I know why Rama did this. Rama cannot live without me. Ananyahi Maya Sita, he has said, I cannot live without Sita. Bhaskarena Prabhayata. Just like the sun and the rays of the sun, they are inseparable. We both are inseparable. I know why Rama would have done this for the sake of the citizens. I know that it is the duty of the king to respect the wishes of the citizens. And as a part of the king, a queen is a part of the king. And as a part of the kingdom, it is my duty towards the king as well as my husband to safeguard the dharmic living of the citizens. So go back to Rama. First she says, Lakshmana, go back to my mothers-in-law. Tell them that I did my namaskarams. Go back to Rama and tell him that his name and fame should never be transgressed. It should never be lost on any occasion. He should not give up dharma all his life, and I will never be a reason for that. And throughout the Uttarakanda, wherever Sita talks of Rama, even going into the Bhumi, she does not curse or fie upon Rama. She says, all my next births, I should be born as your wife. If she had been an oppressed lady, would the oppressed lady say this? She would have said, Yo Vandapa, next Janma, I should never be your wife. You have harassed me so much. No, there is not a single shloka in Uttarakanda also. Even though, if you want me to take, even in Ashokmana episode also, again, the whole army, Rama comes, the whole battle of Ramayana is for the sake of the honor of his wife, single lady. He could have married happily anybody else. He didn't. His life was a sacrifice. As much as Sita cried, Rama cried too. Why? Because they wanted to show the path of dharma to their subjects. Similarly, Ahalya, Gautama cursed Ahalya. This is what Wikipedia would give maximum. Wikipedia is not the rishi who's writing the itihasa. It gives only all that which is already uploaded or the inputs from different people. It's based on the preconceived notions of the inputs that they get from others. But the rishis, Valmiki's notion, you should take the Mula Grantha. The Moola Grantha, the authority is the Moola Grantha. Don't go by the Google. Google can never be a guru. It can give you only data and information to confuse you more. You need to learn things Guru Mukhena. That is the Indian concept of Gurukula. So Ahalya, Gautama cursed Indra, but when he looked at Ahalya, he didn't say, I never want to be with you. You are a traitor. No, he didn't say that. Ahalya knew that it was Indra in the disguise of Gautama Rishi. But still Gautama says, I know that you will be feeling guilty. So the only way to rescue you of this guilt is you think, you fast. He gives the solutions. In fact, you think that if you think it is a curse, then it's a curse, but it's a solution. He says you will be invisible. You will become visible and you will be sanctified, purified when Rama visits this ashram. Till then, continue to fast and pray and be austere. He too does not go and marry anybody else. He waits till the Shapa is annihilated, and then after Vishwamitra brings Rama and Lakshmana, the curse is over. Gautama rejoins with Ahalya. All of them were mothers. Ahalya had Chirakari and Satananda. So Ahalya is a mother. Sita, mother of Lavakusha. Draupadi had 5 sons for Panchapandavas. Then Tara is the mother of Angada. All the Panchakannikas, Mandodari, the mother of Indrajit, Meghanada, and Akshakumara, all of them are mothers. But it's our perception of seeing the half empty glass or half full glass. So is your doubt kind of convinced? Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Kanagaji, next one.
Yeah, I think that was a right question, Kritika, that you raised, because this is also coming from my child, who is just getting her hands into small stories. So she read Ramayana and she indicated the same point that Kritika just brought out, and you elaborated very well. Thank you, Mrs. Hari there. Yeah, and I would also take this opportunity to ask a question that you mentioned during your initial monologue, speech, wherein you talked about 2 things, shreyas and prayas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of us here are working women. Yeah, today's world. So definitely, yeah, we are restricted with the time. Yeah. In such cases, how do you think that we'll be able to balance between the time to the child as well as towards our work, the duty that we need to do?
Wonderful question. Basically, I feel whatever time we get with our child must be the most quality time. Means, I don't say that you should keep teaching the child science or social science or whatever, but the time that we spend with our child must make a lot of difference in the child's perception. Let us try to give our children a broad perspective of our culture's foundation. If it is Indian culture, or if it's the whole world, every nation has its own culture ethos. So every mother must take time to sow the seeds of our nation's basic tradition. I find that today's mothers, yes, we spend time with our children. How productive is that time? Even after work or before work, the time that we spend with our child, maximum we teach the child rational numbers or the fractions or calculus or trigonometry. But besides that, do we instill, we say small stories about our own motherland, how we got independence, how so many great fighters, freedom fighters, sacrificed their lives, like Mother Vidyavati, how she spoke to Bhagat Singh. Do even our children know who Bhagat Singh is? Do even our children, they know Harry Potter. They know Harry Potter, a person who never existed. But they don't know our Bhagat Singh, who gave up his life for the independent air that we are breathing today. So rather than fiction, I think we have to give them the inspiring facts which will mold them into an inspiring citizen. It's basically concentrating more on noble qualities rather than talent. If the mother keeps concentrating on the talent, spotting the talent, and showing out the child's talents, then it becomes a rat race. Then the child is deprived of its joy. It says, Amma, please go to work. I will be happier without you than with you. See, that should not be the case. So, most mothers, we kind of treat them like dolls, and we give the key. They go on without even knowing why they are moving. So let them enjoy every moment of life. This is a life which is a gift from God. They should happily imbibe knowledge, not imbibe knowledge with a very closed mind and without any kind of enthusiastic enough to get knowledge from everywhere. So that is, I think, what working mothers should do. Spend their quality time and sowing the seeds of noble qualities, spotting and concentrating on their gunas, on their qualities rather than talent. Talent will definitely come. Definitely, we have to nurture them. We will concentrate on that. But in that, we should not make them into dogs or horses running on races. Let the child enjoy while learning. Yes.
Thank you so much, Vishakha ji. Now we have started to get a lot of audience questions. So we'll start with a round of audience questions.
Yeah, sure.
I'm reading one of the interesting questions that we have received it is from two questions, very similar, from Shri Sattanathan and Srimati Vijayalakshmi Pattabhiraman. The names are Indian, but probably they are living in Europe. So Indian origin Europeans, we can say. They have a similar question. So combining them both, my mother raised 8 to 10 children without my father's help. She brought up everyone safe and healthy. Now generation gap is struggling to bring up one child. What is the reason? What do we lack? We have, yeah, that's a
Wonderful
question.
question. Yes.
Mm.
Always the question which used to linger in my mind was my grandmother had 9 children. My mother-in-law's mother had 13 children. So they were all happy. And why are we discussing parenting issues with one child and 2 children? I think that is itself the problem. The problem of plenty, lots being given to one person. See, for example, very simple example. I give you 2 color options, red or green. Tell me which color you choose quickly.
Red.
Immediately you will say red or green. Okay, you take just a second. I give you 4 colors, red, green, blue, violet. Now the time that you're going to take is going to be more because you're confused with red, green, blue, violet. If I'm going to give you 10 more colors, choosing a sari, choosing a dress, choosing an education system, choosing a toy, I think that the problem of plenty is what is causing confusion here. We had limited resources and with that a simple life. So everything was simple enough. So all that we need to do was continue in the father's or mother's occupation, the agriculture, simple farming, self-sufficient lifestyle. And then whatever we had, we know that this is what is going to happen, marriage and then children. But now everything is available at the touch of the finger. You don't even need to touch it. Now it's now through remote control because I think pressing also is going to become difficult for us, no? So through remote control, you have all the information, which is only confusing the child, confusing the parents still further. So the choice, giving the choice to the children, I think we should learn to say no to, we should know to say no to our child, right? No to say no to our children. That is the simplest parenting issue. Our mothers never said, whatever we ask, we will never ask, first of all, because we know that she won't give us. Whatever she gave, if it was tight salam, it was curd rice, and it is curd rice. Now, today, the child's menu is what we have to prepare. If you come and as if when ordering in a hotel, then this is for tiffin at all. Easiest, whatever is available, everybody in the household has to eat only that. Father eating something else, mother eating something else, the first child eating something else, second child eating something else. All of them talking, but not together. All of them talking to somebody else through their phones, 4 phones, 4 cars. Everything is the problem of plenty is causing all this confusion.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer. I think we have a similar question from Jayachitra Krishna Kumar as well, wherein she asked about the dilemma between work from home as well as or stay at home. I think you already answered this question. And similarly, a comment also coming from Shivapriya, wherein she indicated that, yeah, many young women, they don't want to have children. And those who have, they act as if the world has come to an end. Yeah. With the amount of work that we have to do nowadays. And many women, they don't have the positive outlook to having those children. And how do we build a strong mom roles in the background? I think this question has been very well answered. Thank you. And I will move on to the next question from our audience. It's coming from Dr. Bhairavi Narayanan. And she asked, at this time, we as mothers have to motivate our daughters to be competitive in career, as well as be homely and suitable for family life. How do we tackle this?
Wonderful question. Like how our yesteryear mothers did. Rani Jhansi fought the war and took care of her infant baby, having tied the infant baby to her shoulder. So she took care of her family on her back, in fact, and fought a war. We are not as desperate as that. We are not doing that amount of sacrifice. But all our yesteryear mothers did that. Did that. One single Jijabai, who is considered as the mother of the nation, raised Shivaji as Chhatrapati. How could she do that? In fact, she did not have the support of her husband also. The previous question, Mr. Satyanatha or somebody, he had asked, 8 to 10 children were raised without the support of the husband. Jijabai did that for Chhatrapati Shivaji. She did not have the support of her husband because he was in the Deccan part because of a treaty. In fact, for some time, Shivaji's father was in jail also. He was working under Adil Shah. So she did not have any support from Shivaji's father. But what did she do? How could she raise Shivaji into such a person? How do we balance this work and life? Our children have to be competitive. Our children should be suitable for family life also. Our children should be good in everything. How do we do that? Basically give them a strong foundation as to the line of demarcation as dharma and adharma. This is dharma, this is adharma. If that line of demarcation becomes very clear, we can strongly, confidently leave them. Wherever they go, they will not go astray. So the first formative years, maybe till 12 years or 15 years, first 15 years of our life, definitely we have to invest the time in our child to teach the child what is right and what is wrong. Otherwise, it's very difficult in this world of Maya. Definitely, the child has to be competitive. The child has to be career oriented, family oriented. There are a lot of expectations today. No, these many expectations we didn't have those years, those time, those yesteryears. Either the mother was a housewife, or even if she had even if she had to go to work, it was just in the farm where it was agriculture work, everybody working together. But today it's different. So as Bhairavi questioned rightly, what we need to do is our children should be multi-talented. They must be daring enough to face all kinds of challenging situations. So let us teach them the stories of how women balanced everything, like Rani Durgavati, Rani Ahalyabai. There are so many queens, so many mothers who balanced everything. They balanced. They ruled a kingdom and took care of their family. We are not ruling kingdoms today. It's just the office, and of course, that itself is tough. It's like governing a kingdom. A lot of politics, I guess. Huh. So let us tell them the stories of all those ancient mothers who did everything. When we even hear of their stories, we get inspired to become like that. That gives us energy. That gives us the force to work untiringly. Otherwise, 2 hours a day, we get tired.
A similar question from Ravi Shankar V. Today's
Yeah.
mother does not have the same energy levels as mothers of yesteryears. Uh, it- They do not get the same nutritious food, and they are living in a world where everything is polluted: water, air, food. Do you think we should even compare our mothers to today's mothers?
Very true. Kalikalochitam dharmam. So all dravyas, all the things that we are getting today is polluted. I think that is why we are getting back to our roots. We are trying to use the same sugar and the same salt that 100 years back they were using. And we are trying to get back to our roots, trying to use, now the whole world is going after turmeric and pepper, which was our grandmother's home remedy. When she used to say, we never listened. But when somebody say from the West says something, we give a lot of value to that. So how do today's mothers increase their energy? It's not only through nutritious food, G. I personally feel the energy has to come through a noble goal. Have a noble vision in your life. I know of so many women today, I don't want to name them, they have not eaten anything their life last 30, 40 years. Where do you get the energy from? I asked. I don't want to name their name. I know of many similar women. And why to go to those women? Our mothers, they never used to eat on Ekadashis, but still they were very energetic. Where does the energy come from? It comes from Deva Bhakti, it comes from faith, comes from hope, it comes from working towards a noble goal, it comes from dharma. When you don't have all this vision at all, then you feel always tired. Because then I always going to the office like a machine, coming back. See, the basic point is interested working. Definitely, if you had asked me to work in an auditing firm or a tax firm, I wouldn't have the same energy level as I'm having today. Definitely not. You have to have that interest, that enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is what gives energy, not the nutritious food. Today, you cannot depend on the food at all. So, comparing, why do I compare yesteryear mothers and today's mothers? We can compare to emulate them. We can't become 100% of those Jija Bais or Ahalya Bais. 5% also will cause a huge difference in our lives. So, that is why we are comparing.
Yeah, I think that you made a very good point there. And I like the next question that's coming in. That is from Srinidhi Satyanarayanan. She
Yeah.
asked, please give some views on feminism that is prevailing in the current society, where the women rights are being misutilized and they are subtitled in the myth that our Indian women are being disrespected.
I don't want to get into this controversy at all. Anything that I speak, even if I say you have to balance work and life, you can see it from any angle. There might be people who say, why is she asking me to balance work and life? It's my own aptitude and attitude. I want to work only, and that is my life. I don't want to have a family at all. That is what some person asked some question previously. I don't want to have children. I don't want to marry at all. And all those are considered as the fashionable statements and feministic statements. So I don't want to get into that controversy. It's each person's perception. But we are talking about ancient mothers of India. So this is how they lived. They lived peacefully, they lived happily. I don't know if you can live peacefully or happily. If you can live peacefully and happily with your kind of thought, then you're most welcome. So I'm no one to comment on these kind of perceptions. Yeah, because 20 years back, when I heard of the first person writing a will of 20 crore property on his dog, pet dog, I used to make fun of him. Today, it's very common. Everybody writes their property on dogs. So because they love their pets more than their children, or maybe their children are worse than dogs. You can see it any way you want. It's your own perception. So feminism is something that I don't want to discuss, and it doesn't come in this ambit of the session. I'm nobody to discuss. It all depends on each feminine's perception. What is feminist? What is non-feminist? Depends on that individual person. I think that is how today's world is moving.
All right, thank you very much. The next question, the two questions that have come, which I'm going to read at the same time because they revolve around the same topic, little bit similar. So Mohinder Gantashala has asked, what is the role of men in yesteryears and how different it is in today's context with women empowerment? Women in the past were more stronger than women in today's world. Is this even true? Then Malati Vasudevan from Frankfurt has asked, why should it only be the mothers who have to inculcate values? What is the role of the father?
Wonderful. If fathers have the patience, then definitely please welcome all of them and give them a good kudos. Usually the word motherhood or the cosmic mother or all this talking the session about mothers is all because the mother has some specific qualities that the father cannot. That is the truth. Uh, the mother has so much of patience and her unconditional love. Even if you have to talk of the God's love, you say it's equivalent to Koti Matra Vatsalya. You don't say Pitra Vatsalya. You could have easily said Pitra Vatsalya. But you say God has Koti Matra Vatsalya. Even if you want to compare God, you say Tayu Manavar. We say for Shivan. The mother and motherhood, it has a lot of special qualities which I think how much ever the father tries cannot. Of course, there are so many people in today's world who are replacing mothers and taking care much more better than mothers. They're all very great, but that was the norm usually. In the olden days, it was like that, but of course, there are exceptions everywhere. But why do we speak of motherhood, and fatherhood is a term not very frequently used, I guess, or at least I have not heard of many sessions on fatherhood. So the question from Frankfurt, is it even right to say that a mother needs to, what was the question from Mrs. Malati Vasudevan?
Yes, why should it be only the mothers who should be inculcating values?
Yeah.
What should be the father's role?
There are many fathers who have inculcated beautiful values. Even in the case of Bhishmacharya, I would always wonder, why did Ganga Devi say, I will give him back at the right time? So the first formative years, always the mother takes care. And then after a particular age, the father comes in. Then Ganga Devi leaves, Shantanu takes over. So it was actually speaking, Bhishmacharya Devavrata was first nurtured by Ganga Devi, and then after that, he had acquired all the political acumen and he was fit enough to be a king. Santanu took over. Why is that? I used to generally think upon that. Because till a particular age, when the child is restless, when the child does not sit in for your class, when the child cannot concentrate, I think the mother has the patience to teach the child. But when the child grows after a particular age, the father should step in. Because at that particular stage, the child will require the father's advice more. So I think that is a good example of a transition of when the mother should act. Mother means mothers and fathers. The mother's role is more than the father's during the formative years. Then the father's role is more than the mother's. So I think this example would best suit your question.
Yeah.
Hopefully answered it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And on the same lines, I think Srimati Nishkala S has also commented that is it right for a mother to travel for official reason by leaving the daughter even for a short span of few weeks? Does it deprive the child of motherly love? I think this was clubbed with your last answer, how father plays a pivotal role in these situations. So
Correct.
I'll move on to the next question from Karthik Parashar, and I'll also combine it with
In
the
case it's
with.
an emergency situation
Mhm.
and you have to travel, definitely you cannot make any excuses. You have to travel. in this modern age, you can always converse with your child, always have control over the child's activities through the phone or through the video comms and the teleconferencing. I think today's so communication is not a problem. So as long distance doesn't matter, it's how much unconditional has experienced. If it has the security, the sense of safety and security, I think distance will not matter. Right?
Yeah, definitely. So I'll move on to our next question. I'll combine two questions together
Yeah.
from Karthik Parashar and Pooja Venkatesh. So
Yeah.
Karthik is asking mothers and grandmothers' recipe has now become more of a food brand than the daily experience that it should be. Mothers of today seem to have forgotten about cooking. What impact does it on does it make on the child? And similar to this is today a mother has more pressure from the society on how she should be, how she should look after her family, how she should cook, etc. Shouldn't it be individualistic and instinctive as per their house?
Definitely. Each family's tradition, each family's culture, especially in India, every family is different. That is why even marriages, we look into so many things. It's not a matter of caste or creed or religion or gender. It's a matter of our sampradaya being followed. So more than 2000 dialects of languages being spoken in India. Each family is different, even in their cooking recipes. One person's rasam, one family's rasam will be totally different from other family's rasam. That is the general sampradaya followed by our mothers-in-law and our mothers. So answering the question as to have mothers forgotten cooking at all, uh, there are many mothers who take their time off to cook proper, nutritious, right dishes. Definitely, there are others who just get their children all junk food, tinned food, canned food, just to fill the stomach whenever the child is hungry. That is going to be dangerous because that is not sensible enough. So earning money and then just buying junk food and all kind of pastries and chocolates and ice cream, that is not loving your child at all. So you definitely, every mother has to take time off to prepare nutritious, right kind of balanced diet that our mothers used to give us. So definitely that question, those mothers who are doing, definitely endaru mahanubavalu, we need to cook for our children with our own hands. Even if we have cooks, even if we have assistants, the joy of cooking with our own hands and serving them, the child itself will feel that, ah, my mother has cooked for me. Whether it's not nice or whether it's nice, because we have cooked, the child will say, it's very nice, ma. You have cooked, no? That sense of, ah, she's cooked for me. That sense of belonging, that sense of love, that along with the dishes, that love is the recipe which is served, no? So I think all those small things make a lot of difference.
Thank you, Vishakha ji. One question from Akila Suparna.
Yeah.
Namaskaram. As an educated working mother, how can we cope with different parenting ideologies? Mothers have an instinctive nature when it comes to their children, which can be difficult to follow compared to the parenting ideologies.
Compared to parenting ideologies, right at the beginning, it is said that never differentiate between your child and the children around. So that is why even in the Gurukula system, the guru's child will learn along with the other children. Definitely, there will arise the soft corner for your child because child is born out of you. You cannot. That is human nature, but we will have that sense of looking after all the children. That was what was happening in the Gurukula system. So your question is how to cope up with the different parenting ideologies, right? What are the differences in the parenting ideology? The parenting ideology generally unconditional love. So what are the other different parenting technologies? I don't know. Ideologically speaking, your unconditional love towards your child and even the child's friends, just because your child's friend has got 1 or 2 marks more than your child, some parents, some mothers don't allow that friend to come into their house from the next day. That becomes a great issue. So don't kind of have that Veda Buddhi, that differentiation to that extent. Definitely, we will all expect our children to do better than other children. That will be there in the corner of the heart, but that should not be fill the heart. No, so that is, I think, the what are the other parenting technologies or ideologies? I didn't get it.
Okay.